So there's this artist on Instagram called Rinotuna. I think that's how you pronounce it. And as you can see, he's very good at drawing. Specifically, what he's most known for is making character designs out of objects, vegetables, yes, vegetables, animals, and he basically anthropomorphizes whatever it is that he is making a character design of. He's pretty damn good at drawing, and I want to try my hand at it. Not drawing, I've been doing that for 13 years. I mean, turning a word, something, and anthropomorphizing it into an anime character. So I made this random wheel of shit with a bunch of random words that I'm gonna spin, and whatever it lands on, I am going to turn into a character design. So without further ado,
We might be cooked. An iguana. Brother, I don't even know what that is.
okay, so as you saw, it's an animal. That's good. Should be easier in theory. The problem is, I don't even know if you can call this a problem, but it's that the iguana is High-Kirkianly edging doing too much. What the fuck is this script? I'm brain rotted. It's kind of doing too much. You know, it's an animal with a lot of details. There's a lot you can incorporate here. But you know what? That's okay. That just means my design will have to do more as well. Let's draw.
First and foremost, I had to fix that flashbang of a background. I am not about to draw on white. That sucks ball. Anyway, let's see. Iguana. So we got Occult Crown from Terraria Calamity Mod Accessory looking at. Then we got Yuji from Modulo looking at. But yeah, I'm just thinking what else you can even do with an iguana.
Yeah, okay, so basically I kept doing some thumbnails, and to be honest, I wasn't really satisfied with these, but eventually I did end up coming up with something that I did like. These two ones. They look a lot more gothic than they do necessarily remind you of the animal, but I think when I put more detail in, it's gonna be easier to make it look like the animal. Also because when you present the character design the way Rinotuna does it, the fact that the picture of the reference is in the top left corner kind of helps your brain associate whatever details that are present in the character design that are from that reference. It makes the connection stronger. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
The main references, baby. Specifically this one. And then I'll be working on the sketch separately. Usually for client work, because I want to be faster, I would put a little bit more effort into the thumbnails and then just take one of the thumbnails and basically do the line art over it, like a more refined sketch directly over it. But this time I don't want to skip that, so let's work on the design. Specifically also because here the pose is very boring. It was just to showcase the fit. Obviously I'll still make changes to it, but now it's time to do the drawing.
Okay, so I really did not want to do a generic standing pose, so I went for a kneeling one.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not f***ing with this pose. I think this pose is so I'm gonna make a different one. Why can't I draw, man? Man, I don't know how to draw a foot from that angle, man. I might be cooked.
Well, never mind that first pose, that did not look good. So instead, we're gonna do something harder, sitting.
This sucks, ball. Let me fix this. I really want to commit to this casual look though, because it's an easier way to get a dynamic pose where you don't need to do action and crazy foreshortening. Okay, welcome back to the second day. I don't know, the poses I was making were not good at all, so I decided to use reference. I know, crazy, right, to say you should use reference, but I didn't. I insisted on not. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with not using reference. But yeah, now I did, and I'm a lot happier with this pose. I think it looks tougher. I don't really do line art or anything, so as far as I'm concerned, this sketch is fine to start painting. First under and then eventually over. And I didn't pick a color palette or anything, but I have the reference in front of me on my desktop, so I know what the iguana's colors are. I know what to do here. And the good thing about having the painterly style is that I don't need to worry about necessarily being in the lines perfectly, because that's irrelevant. I will paint over them eventually. Okay, going to be honest, after doing base colors, I was already starting to do ambient occlusion. I was going to start shading as well, but I actually think there's not enough detail. I think literally this sketch is more detailed than the actual drawing, so I'll figure out where to put more spike motifs for the iguanas. Yeah, more detail, more detail. There's not enough detail.
Yeah, okay, so the design for now isn't looking very iguana-y, if that makes sense. So I decided to go around and add more color splashes of the iguana's color palette and also spiky motifs. That helps. Iguanas are very spiky, you know what I mean? Move on to the clothes, different fabrics. I'm not so good at doing fabric textures, but you know, you get better at it. You practice.
That's the drawing, all right. Now we're gonna go around to some highlights, and then we're done. Can call it a day for this one.
Yeah, and then I just went around, added more detail where it was necessary, and refined wherever I hadn't ambiently occluded yet, because ambient occlusion would be in a painterly style what replaces the lines. You know, in real life there are no lines, but something that would be the equivalent to a line would be ambient occlusion. Hence, going around adding it where relevant.
I added a secondary light source as well. I still need to do post-processing, but just because I want to show you how much it, like just having the picture next to it makes it look more like that, because your brain automatically, it sees the correlations and it makes the connections, artificially making you think that the design is more an iguana than it actually is. Bro, wait, look at this. Oh, there you go. That's a good picture. Watch this. Just having this on the side makes it look more like it. It's actually insane, man. W Brain for helping me make my mid character design look a little bit better. I appreciate. The first thing I do is add chromatic aberration, as you can see here, and I do it via perspective. So I do chromatic aberration, and then I select perspective, and I move the perspective to the focal point, and then I just tune it up. Then I also do a perspective blur. So I perspective. The easy way to do it when it's just a character design is to just put it on the face. If you are doing like a splash art and there's a scene, well, then you're gonna have to be more meticulous about what you blur. And then if you want to be more meticulous with what you blur, you can also just do Gaussian blur and then click here. You can select pencil, and then you can draw in at whatever opacity you want, whatever blur. And then it can also be layer specific, which is perfect. Then if any colors need adjustments, I also mess around with the curves. Other than that, I also go in and add some noise, because I don't like when the digital art looks too clean. It kind of gives off a fake feeling, especially in print media. You might not notice, like you see here, I'm zooming in so much for you to be able to see the pixelated cloud noise texture I added. And you might think, yeah, you know, in digital formats, it doesn't make a difference. And you know what? Touche, it doesn't make a difference. But I also work a lot in printing, and I see my art in person. Just adding that little bit of noise does wonders. And same thing here. Closer to the focal point, there's no noise. And then further away from the focal point, there's more noise. And the way you do this is you go here, noise. I just do clouds or billows. These two are my favorite noises that I use all the time. That's that. That's all I do for post-processing. Hope that helped.
That's the drawing. The iguana anthropomorphized into a gothic anime girl. Now, I know I'm not too satisfied with this design. It has some elements to it which definitely are not functional, and so I'm not very happy with it. It's not super concept arty, but you know what? It is what it is. We keep improving. Anyway, see you in the next one. Goodbye.